What's going on, guys? Silent Mike, Super Training Gym Mark Bell's Powercast, here to talk about how to increase your deadlift. We're going to cover warming up, a little bit of technique, programming, and then accessory work to help you build more muscle and increase that deadlift. Starting with the warm-up, the deadlift is very technical and takes a lot of technique. You're going to need to warm up not only your upper body, your lower body, and you need to actually warm up, get a sweat going before you start lifting. A couple simple things I do is grab a hip circle. You can also grab a band. The hip circle just tends to work a lot better. Throw it around your knees. Right around the knees will work. Walk forward, walk sideways. You can add a band over your shoulders and do a good morning. This is going to work your hip hinge, also your external rotation of your knees, which will help both in the conventional and the sumo deadlift. Another easy thing I like to do is just a simple barbell complex with no weight. Do a bunch of rows, maybe sets of 10 to 20, some stiff leg deadlifts with the bar. You can throw it on your back, do good mornings with the bar. Also squats, air squats, or just the barbell. Something easy to also get your heart rate up, get a little bit of blood going before you start to lift is to jump rope or pull a sled around. Just pull the sled for a couple laps, take a little breather, pull the sled for a couple laps. I'll do all these exercises maybe 2 to 3 times just to prep my mind and my body, get nice and warm before I get into actual lifting. Like I said, the deadlift does need a little bit more mobility than some other of the lifts. So if you need some stuff, check out mobilitywod.com. Opening up your hips, the hip capsule, also just working your low back. Shoulders obviously don't need that much of range of motion, but they will be involved. So if you want to do some stuff, check out mobilitywod.com. I always refer to him for any mobility work. There's a lot that goes into the deadlift technique because there's so many joints involved. Your upper body matters, your hips, your knees, how to align, and also how many differences there are in our leverages. People have bigger femurs, their thigh bone, longer, thinner, longer, shorter torso. But the basics are, we need to take a big breath into our lower stomach. Think about filling up your stomach from the bottom up and also out. Brace hard. We want to get our back flat. We also want to get our hips below our shoulders. And then what we want to do is cover our armpits with our shoulders. So if you cover your armpits with your shoulders like so, pulling the bar into your body, the bar being closer to you will make it feel lighter. Also, it engages your lats, which will help protect your spine, get you tighter to pull bigger. As with every lift, technique matters for obvious reasons. You don't want to get injured, but also the more efficient you are in the pull, the more weight you can lift, the more you can train, the more volume you can handle in your training, the stronger you'll get faster. There's a million ways to skin a cat. There's tons of different ways you can get strong, but what's worked for me, taking my deadlift from about 500 pounds to a 650 pound pull in a couple of years, is deadlifting once a week.
Basically, I rotate a heavy, medium, and light day. Heavy day could be 3 to 5 sets of 1 to 5 reps, 80 to 90%. Medium day, we get some volume. It's 1 to 5 sets, typically 5 to 12 reps in the anywhere from 60 to 80% range. And then the light day will be a higher amount of sets, maybe 6 to 12 sets, lower reps, 1 to 5 reps in the 55 to 75% range.
I've deadlifted twice a week for short periods of time, but often I stick to once a week. That's frequency. Depending on your leverages, how efficient you are on the lift, maybe you can handle more volume, but compared to my bench and my squat, I lower the volume a little bit in my deadlift, which already automatically happens with the lower frequency. I also like to lift with a little bit more intensity, closer to my 1 rep max. When you're far out from a meet, variations on the deadlift are going to be a great idea. Using block pulls, deficit deadlifts, also training your weaker stance. If you're a conventional puller, train sumo when you're maybe 16 weeks out from a meet. They'll both build up muscles that'll help to transfer to a bigger pull. Getting closer to a meet, 12 weeks, 10 weeks, 8 weeks, 6 weeks, obviously 4 weeks. Training your competition lift from the ground with the bar you're going to use, whether it's stiff bar or a deadlift bar, are going to help a ton. It's about dialing in that form, that speed, that technique to get the best pull you can pull. The deadlift, unlike the other lifts, can be very taxing on your body. You are using basically every muscle in your body, and you're also typically, not always, handling the most weight that you can lift. So that's why I do it once a week. On an opposite day, or the other lower body day, my squat day, I will throw in stiff legs or maybe very light deficit deads. If you are going to deadlift twice a week, you're going to have to lower that intensity, lower that volume, or on the secondary day, you'll do a variation of the lift, whether it's a block pull, rack pull, maybe a stiff leg or a deficit. For me, what's worked very well is to lift my competition lift on day one, my main deadlift day, and then on my other lower body day, I'll do stiff legs as an accessory, either with a barbell or dumbbells. With my deadlift, tons of accessories have helped me get stronger. Having a bigger back, stronger lower back, bigger lats, bigger glutes, bigger quads, and bigger hams. So there's a lot of work that goes into building your deadlift. Variations of the lift are great. Block pulls, deficit pulls, rack pulls, also stiff legs. Those are the main barbell movements I'll use either on my heavy deadlift day after the main movement or on that secondary day. Something that's not often talked about is that squats can help your deadlift. Either a pause squat, a box squat, or a front squat can help build up explosive power in your quads and low back that transfers to speed off the ground in your deadlift and overall strength in your deadlift. There's like secondary accessories, as I call them, that are lighter, non-barbell movements that'll also help build up your deadlift and are need to be done. Things like chin-ups, pull-ups, bent over rows, as I mentioned before, stiff legs, which are a barbell but kind of a single joint movement. There's two machines that are getting more common in gyms called the reverse hyper. Really helps build up your glutes, hams, low back. It also decompresses your back, so it's almost like a recovery tool, as well as the GHR, the glute ham raise or glute ham developer, depending on what you call it, is a great accessory movement that's not very taxing that can help your deadlifts. These movements obviously can help your bench and your squat as well. It's just building up general strength. And there's something you can do more than just once a week. Although I deadlift once a week, I'm doing movements maybe 4 times a week that can help my deadlift, such as the chin up, the GHR, and the reverse hyper. I can do 2, 3, 4, 5 times a week once you've built up your work capacity. There are some simple tips on how to deadlift. Hopefully this, guys, it helps you out. Build your program, build up your strength in the new year. Leave comments below if you like the video. Please share it. More videos to come. Like that bitch, share that bitch. Subscribe to that bitch. I'm out of here. Thanks, guys.
Let's go!